Well, good morning, boys and girls. It is so good to be with you for Story Time with Pastor Clint. I'm really excited about today's episode. I changed my setting a little bit. I am in my office, and one of the reasons I wanted to do that was because I wanted you to see all the books and how important books are to me as a pastor, but also in my life. Books are very, very important, and I want to encourage you as you read books and help you develop a love for books, because books are wonderful and reading is wonderful. I want to read two books to us this morning. First of all is How I Became a Pirate. How I Became a Pirate is by Melinda Long and Dave Shannon. Melinda Long's the author, Dave Shannon the illustrator. And then the second book we want to read this morning is The Non-Praying Mantis, a story about prayer and thankfulness, written and illustrated by Matt Whitlock. Written and illustrated by Matt Whitlock. First of all, let's get started with How I Became a Pirate, written by Melinda Long and Dave Shannon illustrated. Pirates have green teeth, and when they have any teeth at all. I know about pirates because one day, when I was at the beach building a sandcastle and minding my own business, a pirate ship sailed into view. I knew what it was because its flag had a skull and crossbones on it, and because I could hear the pirates singing, "Hey-ho, blow the man down." And they were all a little off-key, just like I was. I tried to tell Dad, but he was busy setting up the beach umbrella. I tried to tell Mom, but she was busy slathering my baby's sister with sunblock. So I went back to my sandcastle, but kept an eye on the pirates. By then, they were rowing to shore. When they landed, the head pirate climbed out of the boat and yelled, "Ahoy there, matey! Be this the Spanish Main?" "No," I said, "this is North Beach." "Shiver me timbers," the pirate said. "We must have taken a wrong turn at Bora Bora." He walked around my sandcastle, he looked at the moat, and then yelled to his crew, "He's a digger, this one is, and a good one to boot. A good one to boot," they all said. "What be your name, matey?" the head pirate asked. "Jeremy Jacobs, sir," I said. "Well, Jeremy Jacob," he said, "you're looking at a Braidbeard and his crew. We've been needing a digger like yourself. We have a chest of treasure to bury." "Aye, treasure," they all said. "You're coming with us," Braidbeard told me. I didn't think Mom and Dad would mind much, as long as I got back in time for soccer practice tomorrow. That's how I became a pirate. As soon as we were on board, Braidbeard showed me the chest of gold and jewels. "Got to find a safe place for this here treasure. It's high time we're off," he announced. "We're off," we all shouted, and then we set sail. There was plenty to do on board. The pirates taught me to sing sea chanties, the louder the better, and to say real pirate stuff like landlubber and scurvy dog. By dinner time, I could speak pirate perfectly. I also learned pirate manners. Braidbeard pounded his fist on the table and yelled, "Down the hatch, me laddies! Down the hatch!" we all shouted. Braidbeard gulped his food and said, "Hand over the meat! The meat!" we all roared. Nobody told us to finish our spinach. There wasn't any. Or to chew up our carrots. They weren't allowed on board. We talked with our mouths full, and nobody said please or thank you. After dinner, I tried to teach all the pirates to play soccer. Braidbeard kicked the ball and yelled, "Arr, soccer! Arr, soccer!" the crew yelled. Then everybody dove for the ball all at once, and it rolled right off the deck. "After it, me hearties!" Braidbeard commanded. "After it!" we all whispered. We fought over who would get the ball, but it didn't matter anyway because a shark came along and swallowed it in one gulp. So much for soccer. By now it was past my bedtime, but nobody tells pirates to go to bed, to take a bath, or to brush their teeth. Maybe that's why their teeth are all green. Pirates sleep with one eye open just in case. And they don't change into their pajamas unless they want to. Pirates don't do anything they don't want to do, except for maybe swabbing the decks. I wanted to be a pirate forever. But then I found out what else they don't do. When I couldn't stay awake any longer, I asked Braidbeard to tuck me in and read me a story. tuck you in, he bellowed. Pirates don't tuck. No tucking, the crew cried. And the only thing that they had to read was a map. Don't you have any books, I asked. Braidbeard looked confused. Books? I didn't even bother to ask about a goodnight kiss. It wasn't easy to fall asleep without a story, but I was finally dozing off when a storm broke. Thunder boomed and lightning flashed. I tried to hide under the covers as waves slammed up against the ship, but I kept falling out of my hammock. I couldn't find anyone in the cabin. They were all on deck. Lower the sails, Braidbeard shouted. Batten down the hatches. Everybody ran around yelling and lowering and battering and battening. Nobody had time to sit close to me and tell me it would be over soon. Nobody even noticed me. I decided that I didn't want to be a pirate after all. Just then, flash, crash, crack! Lightning hit the mast and split right down the middle. What do we do? Yelled one of the pirates. We'll have to turn back, called another. But the treasure, hollered Braidbeard. Where will we bury the treasure? I stepped forward. Maybe I can help. I shouted over the wind. I think I know the perfect digging spot. When the storm was over, we rowed back to the shore and buried the chest. We drew a map so we could find the treasure again, but I don't think I'll need it. After that, the pirates repaired the ship and got ready to set sail. Before they left, Braidbeard handed me the flag and said, You make a fine pirate, Jeremy Jacob. Guard that treasure well. We'll be back to get it soon enough. Soon enough, the crew repeated. And if you ever need us, Braidbeard added, just run the Jolly Roger up yonder pole. Up yonder pole, the others shouted. And maybe I will, but not today. I have soccer practice. That's how I became a pirate. Isn't that a great little book by Melinda Long, illustrated by David Shannon? The second book I want to read for us this morning is called The Non-Praying Mantis. It's a story about prayer and thankfulness. The first one was fun. This one's a great little story, but it teaches us a very important lesson about praying to God and how we can be thankful for what He has given to us. It's written and illustrated by Matt Whitlock. The Non-Praying Mantis. Amanda the mantis was different than most of the bugs in her family, who always could boast of the one special thing in their proud bug tradition, the beautiful pose of the praying position. Amanda was different. She'd leap and she'd play. She didn't have time to sit down and pray. One lovely morning she whispered to Mum, Why do you sit with your eyes closed and hum? Mama called Grandpa and Daddy came too to tell little Mandy why they do what they do. We have a great God who is so full of love. We want to send praises to Him high above. We tell Him we're sorry we haven't done right. We thank Him for blessings in which we delight. We ask Him for things that we want and we need. He hears all our prayers and will answer indeed. She thought to herself, this could work well for me. I'll ask God for friends like that cute bumblebee. I'll ask for muscles to make me jump higher. I could be the girl that all the kids admire. So the non-praying mantis pressed hands together and asked God for blessings, but didn't care whether. The things that she asked for were pleasing to Him. She wanted only to be filled to the brim. She finished her prayer and stood up to jump, but her jump was so teeny she tripped on a stump. What's wrong with this genie who hears all our prayers? It seems clear to me that this God never shares. My mom and my dad, they're too superstitious. It's useless to pray or ask God for wishes. She thought all these thoughts as she went on a stroll. Then whoops, she fell down into a big hole. She first tried to climb out and then she screamed for help. But she could hear nothing except her own yelp. If God could have listened and answered my prayer, I could have jumped out and been over there. She grumbled that God wouldn't give her a pal who could help her exit this rotten canal. But morning was passing and rain started falling. The hole was now flooding and Mandy was bawling. I'd be crying too, wouldn't you? "Oh God," she cried out, "I'm sorry for doubting. I'm sorry for wanting so much and for pouting. You do give me good things I need every day. And God, please teach me to pray the right way." She snuffled her nose and wiped off a tear. The raindrops stopped falling. A leaf floated near. She climbed on the leaf, then smiled to God. She leapt all the way from the leaf to the sod. Just then she heard laughter high up in the sky and a sweet buzzing voice that sounded so shy. "I like how you jump and I like how you smile. Is it okay if we play for a while?" So Mandy praised God for his wisdom and grace. She thanked him for friendship and races to race. She never forgot her proud bug tradition, that wonderful, humble, sweet praying position. It's a great book about prayer. Sometimes we don't know what to pray for and we get upset with God. We didn't answer our prayers like we think he should. But God has a way of making sure we understand. He is always in control and he loves us and will provide for us whatever we need. Hey, I hope you guys have a great day. May God bless you. And remember, God loves you and so do I. I'll see you next time on Storytime with Pastor Clint.